220-volt circuit can indeed be derived from a 208/120 volts transformer or panel. The reason for this lies in how voltage is distributed in a three-phase electrical system. A 208/120 volt system is a common configuration in commercial and industrial settings. It's derived from a three-phase transformer with the voltage between any two phases is 208 volts, and the voltage from any phase to neutral is 120 volts. Equipment rated for 220 volts can often operate within the 208 volts range provided by such a system. The acceptable voltage tolerance for most electrical equipment allows for some variation around the nominal voltage rating. Typically, equipment designed for 220 volts operation can function correctly with voltages ranging from approximately 200 volts to 240 volts. The 208 volts provided by a 208/120 volt system falls within this tolerance range. However, it's crucial to consider the specific requirements of the equipment being powered. Some sensitive equipment may require a voltage closer to the nominal rating for optimal performance. In such cases, using a step-up transformer to boost the voltage from 208 volts to 220 volts might be necessary. Now, let's consider the situation where 240 volts is required. In this scenario, a separate 240 volts/120 volts transformer is typically needed. This is because a standard 208/120 volts transformer cannot produce a 240 volts output. The 240 volts transformer is specifically designed to provide the higher voltage level required by certain types of equipment. These transformers are commonly used in residential settings where 240 volts is used to power appliances such as electric stoves, clothes dryers, and water heaters. The 240 volts is obtained by connecting to two hot legs of the transformer, each providing 120 volts, which are 180 degrees out of phase, resulting in a potential difference of 240 volts. When selecting a transformer, it's essential to consider the voltage requirements of the equipment being powered, as well as the kVA rating of the transformer. The kVA rating indicates the transformer's capacity to deliver power. It's crucial to choose a transformer with a kVA rating that is sufficient to handle the load of the equipment being powered, with some additional capacity for future expansion. Furthermore, it's important to ensure that the transformer is properly installed and wired according to the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and local electrical codes. This includes using the correct wire gauge, overcurrent protection devices, and grounding methods to ensure safe and reliable operation. The NEC provides detailed guidelines on transformer installation, wiring, and protection. Some key considerations include the following. Firstly, transformer location. Transformers should be installed in a well-ventilated area to prevent overheating. They should also be protected from physical damage and exposure to moisture. Secondly, overcurrent protection. Transformers must be protected by overcurrent protection devices such as circuit breakers or fuses to prevent damage from overloads or short circuits. The size of the overcurrent protection device should be selected based on the transformer's kVA rating and voltage. Thirdly, grounding. Transformers must be properly grounded to provide a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to protect against electrical shock hazards. The grounding system should comply with the requirements of the NEC and local electrical codes. Fourthly, wiring methods. The wiring methods used to connect the transformer to the electrical system must comply with the requirements of the NEC and local electrical codes. This includes using the correct wire gauge, conduit, and connectors. Fifthly, labeling. Transformers should be properly labeled with their voltage rating, kVA rating, and other important information. This helps to ensure that the transformer is used correctly and safely. In summary, while 220 volts can often be derived from a 208/120 volts transformer or panel, 240 volts typically requires a separate 240 volts/120 volts transformer. It's crucial to carefully consider the voltage requirements of the equipment being powered and to select the appropriate transformer to meet those requirements. Additionally, it's important to ensure that the transformer is properly installed and wired according to the NEC and local electrical codes to ensure safe and reliable operation. When dealing with electrical systems, it's always best to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the work is done safely and correctly. Electricity can be dangerous, and it's important to take all necessary precautions to prevent accidents. Understanding the differences between 208 volts, 220 volts, and 240 volt systems, and the proper application of transformers is essential for ensuring the safe and efficient operation of electrical equipment. Also, understanding the voltage tolerance of the equipment is important to making a successful installation. For example, some equipment may require 230 volts instead of 220 volts. In this case, the 208 volt supply may not be suitable. In contrast, other equipment may state that they can accept 200 volts to 240 volts. In this case, the 208 volt supply should be fine. You should consider voltage drop when running the conductors. If the conductors are too small or the run is too long, there may be excessive voltage drop. Voltage drop is the reduction in voltage from the source to the load. It is caused by the resistance of the conductors. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or overheat. The NEC provides guidelines for calculating voltage drop. The recommended maximum voltage drop for branch circuits is 3%, and the recommended maximum voltage drop for feeders is 5%. To minimize voltage drop, use larger conductors or shorten the length of the run. It is also important to consider the ambient temperature when selecting conductors. The ampacity of a conductor decreases as the ambient temperature increases. The NEC provides ampacity correction factors for different ambient temperatures. Make sure to select conductors with an ampacity that is sufficient for the load at the expected ambient temperature. Furthermore, you should understand the difference between single-phase and three-phase power. Single-phase power is typically used in residential applications, while three-phase power is typically used in commercial and industrial applications. Single-phase power consists of two wires, a hot wire and a neutral wire. The voltage between the hot wire and the neutral wire is typically 120 volts or 240 volts. Three-phase power consists of three wires, three hot wires. The voltage between any two hot wires is typically 208 volts or 480 volts. Three-phase power is more efficient than single-phase power because it delivers more power for the same amount of current. When working with electrical systems, it's always important to follow safe work practices. Always to energize the circuit before working on it. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. Be aware of your surroundings and avoid contact with live electrical parts. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician. Also, consider the location of the transformer. The transformer should be located in a dry, well-ventilated area. It should be protected from physical damage and unauthorized access. The transformer should be mounted securely to prevent it from falling or tipping over. If the transformer is located outdoors, it should be protected from the weather. You should also consider the noise level of the transformer. Some transformers can be quite noisy. If the transformer is located in a noise-sensitive area, you may need to take steps to reduce the noise level. This can be done by using a noise barrier or by selecting a transformer with a lower noise level. Consider the efficiency of the transformer. Transformers are not perfectly efficient. Some of the energy that is supplied to the transformer is lost as heat. The efficiency of a transformer is typically expressed as a percentage. A higher efficiency transformer will save you money on your electricity bill. When selecting a transformer, it's important to consider all of these factors to ensure that you select the right transformer for your needs. Always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions. Also, remember that electrical codes can vary from place to place. Make sure that you are familiar with the electrical codes in your area before starting any electrical work. This will help to ensure that your work is safe and compliant with the law. Understanding the electrical concepts like voltage, current, resistance, and power is essential for working with electrical systems safely and effectively. Voltage is the electrical potential difference between 2 points. It is measured in volts. Current is the flow of electrical charge. It is measured in amps. Resistance is the opposition to the flow of electrical charge. It is measured in ohms. Power is the rate at which electrical energy is transferred. It is measured in watts. The relationship between voltage, current, resistance, and power is described by Ohm's law, which states that voltage is equal to current times resistance, or volts equals amps times ohms. Power is equal to voltage times current, or watts equals volts times amps. Knowing these basic electrical concepts and how they relate to each other is crucial for understanding how electrical systems work and for troubleshooting electrical problems. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a set of standards for the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment in the United States. The NEC is published by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. The NEC is updated every 3 years. The NEC covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. The NEC is not a law, but it is often adopted by state and local governments as part of their built-in codes. Compliance with the NEC is essential for ensuring the safety of electrical systems. The NEC provides detailed requirements for various aspects of electrical installations, such as conductor sizing, overcurrent protection, grounding, and wiring methods. It also includes specific requirements for different types of occupancies, such as residential, commercial, and industrial buildings. Familiarizing yourself with the NEC and adhering to its requirements is crucial for ensuring the safety and compliance of electrical work. The NEC is a complex document, and it can be difficult to understand. If you have any questions about the NEC, consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector. They can help you to understand the requirements of the NEC and ensure that your electrical work is compliant. Finally, always remember to prioritize safety when working with electricity. To energize circuits before working on them, use appropriate personal protective equipment, and be aware of your surroundings. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the work for you. These safeguards ensure personal safety and proper functioning of electrical systems.